Welcome to GSO Circle, our first kickoff on the first roundtable discussion hosted by the Geological Society of Oman at Baslat Majan. In celebration of Omani Women's Day this year, we've decided to host an interesting topic, Omani women in the geosciences, then and now. I'd like to introduce to you our honored guests. We have Dr. Nawara Sanawi. We have Dr. Nadia Al-Abri, Dr. Layan Al-Kharousi, and Maria Selmi. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So, let's start. How about you guys introduce yourselves? Tell us a little more about yourselves. Nawar.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, I'm Nawara Sanawi. My background is petroleum geosciences, and I'm specializing in carbonate diagenesis in dolomites. For my bachelor degree, I studied applied geosciences in the university in Geotech, the German University of Technology in Oman, from 2009 to 2014. And I was sponsored by the Ministry of Higher Education and the DAID. For my master's degree, I studied petroleum geosciences in reservoir development and production. That was from 2014 to 2015, sponsored by PDO. And for my PhD degree, then I decided to move further with my education. And I got specialized in carbonate diagenesis, more specifically dolomites, in the University of Manchester as well. And the study was sponsored by PDO. It's part of the North Africa Research Group in the university. So yeah, that's basically me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Nadia.
Right, so my name is Nadia Suleiman Al-Abri. I'm a geophysicist by background, degree-wise, and then I did my PhD and master's in geology, and after that I actually went to work for PDO almost for 27 years.
Wow.
That's including the years I was sponsored. So yeah, and I'm a mother of four kids. And I'm actually now retired.
Oh wow! Congratulations!
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm enjoying my time.
Enjoying
with
retirement.
the kids.
Thank you so much, Layan.
So also in the field of geology, I'm actually with Occidental Petroleum at the moment, and I also studied geoscience. I started very young in Imperial College. And then I ended up in the Sunshine State of Florida and spent many fun years over there. So education should be fun too.
Definitely.
And then I also I did an internship, 1-year internship with Oxy in Houston. And that's what pushed me to come and join Oxy in Oman. And as well, I'm a mother of 3, almost 3 to 7. And yeah, just a daughter, a friend, and everything else in between.
Thank you. Maria?
Actually, similarly, I just found out we were both Imperial alumni. I didn't know that before. So yeah, I graduated from, my bachelor's was in Leicester University, and then I did my master's in Imperial College in petroleum geoscience. So I joined PDO 2017 late, so I've been working there since then for 4 years now.
Wow, great. So you're new, right? You're new to the field.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much, you guys, for that lovely background. All right, so I'm going to ask you guys this question, right? Why did you guys pick geosciences? What was the motivation behind it? Maria, you can start and tell us that.
Yeah, I've always had interest in environment specifically. I've always had passion on going outside. I always loved going into caves, hiking, and all of these outdoor activities. And geology really opens the door to discover many places.
Definitely, yes.
So that's mainly because I have passion of being outside, and geology is mostly about field work. So that's why I picked it. Yeah.
Perfect. It's so interesting that you said that field work was the thing that drove you there.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Leon.
Actually, I didn't pick geology. I think geology picked me. PDO picked geology for me. So no, actually, I didn't. I didn't even know geology when I graduated high school. I'd never even heard of it. So I wanted to do medicine. I wanted to help people, and I thought I want to get into medicine, but I couldn't get into medicine. And so I was thinking, oh, what else should I do? I hadn't thought further than becoming a doctor. And so PDO was giving out scholarships, and I said, okay, I want to travel the world as well. That's another dream of mine. So what better way to travel the world than on a scholarship? So I went, I said, I want a scholarship. They said, okay, what will you do? I said, what do you want me to do? They said, do you want geologists? I said, okay, I'll do it. As long as I get to travel. and that's what happened. So, but I ended up loving it.
Great.
I did.
Great. You know, it is earth sciences, you know, so traveling and also you kind of travel through time. So it's kind of the same thing, right? Nawar, why did you pick geosciences?
That's really a good question and an interesting one. Honestly, I always wanted to work for PDO and work on something which is related to the petroleum sector. And my parents would always encourage us to do, to go for our passion. And so once I finished my high school, we were, discussing together with my parents which major should I go for. Okay, I want to work for PDO, but then which major exactly? And then we were looking for options, and really the closest university close to our house was basically the German University of Technology. So we went there, and we asked them about the courses that they offer, and lucky enough, we saw Applied Geosciences, and I just went for it, and that's how. And here I am.
So I can see here the theme is 1 by choice, 2 by chance. All right, Nadia, I'm looking forward to hearing about yours.
Right. Actually, I didn't pick it.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately.
Does anybody
but,
like being a geoscientist?
No, I loved being a geoscience
Yeah.
in the end. But honestly, I was just going for where I could get a scholarship, because as actually very similar to Leanne, I wanted to travel. I wanted to have a scholarship and go abroad for my studies.
That's good.
And when I submitted my papers to PDO for a scholarship, I actually wanted an electrical engineer.
Oh,
But the
that's
person,
also a male-dominated industry.
yeah, but that's what I thought I would really like to do. But during the interview, the guy asked me, why did you pick electrical engineer? How about physics and geology? And I said, actually, I don't think I know enough about them.
Yeah.
And he said, I think you got really good marks in physics, and you got also in geography. So how about geophysics? And I was thinking, well, I don't know. That's quite a shift from what I wanted.
It is a
But he
complete
said,
shift.
okay, you go. I think I'll give you geophysics. And I thought, okay, well, at least I've got my scholarship. At the time, I think, at least in my time, scholarships were really tough. And, if you got a scholarship, you would be really...
It was definitely a big thing. It was definitely a big thing.
So I was thinking,
yes.
okay, I think I can face anything, so I'm sure geophysics will be fine for me. But later on, when I started, I like hiking, and I like going to the walks in the mountains, and with the field trips, it was just like really heaven.
It
was really nice for me.
So you're like, yes, I am traveling.
Definitely, yeah. And we went everywhere with the field trips, to Utah, to south of
Nice.
Spain with the university. So that
So you
just
were
fitted
happy.
me right.
You were
Yeah,
happy with
I
your
was happy,
choice.
yeah.
Thank you guys so much for that. Those answers are very, very nice insight into your life choices. So I'm going to ask you guys the big question. Leon and Nadia, this question is going to be towards you guys. How was it back then joining the industry? Like, I really want to know, like, being one of the first geophysicists, geologists, like, to go into the industry, the geosciences industry. How was it? How was the experience? Leon, maybe you can tell us a little bit about it.
Well, when I started the scholarship, you don't really know what it's like to be in the industry. I mean, when you travel, there's in the classroom, in Imperial and all the universities, it was almost 50-50 women and men, So you don't feel like, oh, I'm doing something so different, or this is something new and nobody has ventured into it. I took a long time studying. I took 16 years till I came back to Oman. So by that time, there were so many women already in the field, like Intisar and Nadia, and so many women had already carved
the way.
The way
Yes,
for
yes.
somebody like me,
Yeah.
So actually, I felt like, they did all the hard work. I just came for the ride.
Just showed up like, hi, I'm ready.
And and there had been already women who'd gone into the desert, had been on rigs. So it wasn't like I was the first. So I felt it was really easy, very simple, nothing out of the ordinary.
Easier to enter. Yes. How about you, Nadia? I mean, you do have the most experience out of all of us.
Yes.
So we are looking forward to your answer.
So I have to say, I mean, PGO is a very supportive environment. Really, for all the women, whenever you're coming in, you always have, the support of your colleagues, the other ladies, even the gentlemen there. We had a lot of mentorship and coaching. We always had someone to, look after us. At the time when I joined, there was a bit of a challenge because there was still very fewer Omanis in the exploration department. Very few. And
I can imagine.
you had to prove yourself, I have to say. It wasn't just an easy thing. You had all the support, but you really had to prove yourself. You had to learn self-confidence. You had to learn not to be brushed, on the side, to stand your ground, and learn all those, things, because it was still. At the time, Omanis were very few in the department.
Yes.
They were still looking at you and thinking, can she do the job or not?
So it's just the beginning of the oil and gas industry where it was still like little Omanis in the field.
So I joined that in 1995.
Wow.
For the first time, I joined in 1995, just after my bachelor. So I worked for a year before going for my master's. And during that time, they had a really nice program, which called the introductory program. And we went through different projects. And in every, team, you had to prove yourself, show that you actually, you can do it, and, learn that self-confidence. I think that was the biggest challenge for me, how to actually, be self-confident. And I think we had a lot of support, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you need support to actually be able to move forward.
Yeah. And I have to say it was from Omanis and expatriates alike. But at the beginning, it was tough.
Yeah. I can't imagine. So you join the industry. It's completely new for Oman, right? And not only is it fewer Omanis in the industry, a few ladies in the industry.
Well, yes.
So that is amazing, Nadia. And I am going to ask you the next question. What kind of challenges did you guys face actually joining the industry? So you did mention a few, right?
Yes.
But I'd like to know, like, what if one challenge that sticks out, like, to you?
As I said, you had to prove your credibility.
Credibility, yes.
People would not really just take you that, okay, she knows what she's doing, she's going to be doing it right. No, they would be probably questioning whether you are able to do the job or not at the beginning. And that was what I was talking about, that you had to build your self-confidence.
Yes. Self-confidence and credibility.
And actually doing the job the right way, asking the right questions, and approaching the right people for the information, making sure that even if you have a tough task, you are able actually to get the right help and be able to present the right material for the way forward.
I can't imagine. That's amazing.
Those are the kind of challenges that I faced at the beginning. But other than that, I have to say that PDO environment is really positively supporting women, and probably even more than supporting men. In that sense. And
I'm sure PDO will be happy to hear this.
I don't know. I mean, Maria is in the PDO, so maybe she can shed some light.
A little bit from
I was even questioning whether we need more women empowerment anymore, because we've already achieved 50% and even maybe more in some sectors. So I was even questioning the whole concept of having women empowerment.
Yes.
I agree.
Wow. Cool. Leon, I'd like to hear some of the challenges you faced.
I think I agree a lot with what Nadia said about having self-confidence, and I think what also comes into play with the self-confidence is that you follow your values, and I think that was something very important for me. You don't follow what somebody tells you to do if it's against your values.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So there were many times I had to stand up and say, I don't agree with this, to bosses or managers, or argue my point, because at the end of the day I wanted to do the best for the organization and the best for my country. So having that courage and becoming maybe in some way unpopular, because you probably annoy your bosses when you don't agree with them, and you'll probably get maybe sidelined a little bit. I think that was one of the biggest challenges. But I think at the end of the day, once you do that, once you guys stick to your values, you'll always feel that you did the right choices no matter where your career ends.
Sexy, yeah.
Very beautifully
Totally
said.
agree.
Very beautifully said. Credibility, holding on to your values, that's very important in today's world, actually, too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I want to know a little bit from Nawar and Maria. Like, have you guys faced any challenges similar to Leon and Nadia?
Actually, as I started in the industry, I remember I actually have a funny story to tell, but at the same time, it's a little bit sad. So we actually, when I did my bachelor degree for my undergrad, I discussed with my supervisor that I'm going to do a project in sedimentology. So then we agreed, okay, I was going to do something related to, carbonates, and I'm going to work on Oligocene Miocene outcrops in Duqm area. So then, we were just planning the field trip, and she provided me with some of her old field logs, as well as some thin sections. So to start off with the project, I just went through her old field logs, and in order to come up with the lithophage distribution, and to understand the area a little bit more. I went through the thin section and had a look around and studied them basically. So if we go to to Duqm, we were actually all packed and everything, and we went straight to the outcrop where she actually noted the GPS coordinates. So we went there, and so once we arrived, we were just looking around, and then we were like, oh, where's the outcrop? Basically ما حصلناه. We were like, where is it? And it just disappeared. And what happened actually is that they built roads on the same spot I was supposed to study.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So for us as geologists, we start to lose some of our geological heritage with all this civilization. The investors don't really know the value of these
Some of the geological outcrops.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so
for
much
me,
for telling us the story.
It's sad at the end, but we managed. I mean, we had a look, on the geological map, and then we tried to trace the same formation, and then we said, okay, a few hundred meters away, we found another outcrop, and it was spectacular. Yeah, I mean, so it's.
Yeah, I mean, as a geoscientist, that is the kind of challenges we do all face, which is preservation of geological heritage. It is definitely something difficult, but I think we're moving towards it right now, where we're going to be announcing the different zones that shouldn't be touched and everything. Thank you so much for sharing that. Maria, do you have any challenges you face?
I must admit it has been smooth and easy.
So we're going to thank Nadia for that.
Yeah, I would have to admit that whatever previous women have done and improved have actually paid off, and so our admission it just proves that the process has improved since then. I mean, when you compare 20 or 30 years ago and you compare the numbers now, it has just been increasing and improving all
Well, that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you, guys. So we're going to take one last question before our break, and this is towards our mothers here. The most important question that I think a lot of female geoscientists want to know, which is, how do you balance work and being a mother? Nadia, you're going to go first.
Okay. All right. So I have to say it was difficult.
I mean, you're off in Spain somewhere
I
looking
wish I
at
could
this.
say it was really nice and easy ride, but it wasn't. I mean, I think it also depends on the personalities of the people and everything, and how much of how much time do you give your work, and how much time you intend to spend with your kids, your day-to-day schedule and everything. But for at least for me, it was I used to work quite late.
Yeah,
I used to
I can
have
imagine.
quite a lot of work to do, and by the time I get home, the kids, like having a couple of hours before they go to sleep, and it was always hectic trying to, raise them, teach them the right values, manage their questions, and
Just be there for them.
just doing the housework, doing everything. So, and although definitely I had help, I had help from my mother and and I had a nanny, but you always have that guilt.
Yeah.
I always had that guilt that am I doing the right thing? Is everything at home all right while
Right,
I'm
yes.
at the office? And for me, it wasn't on to be not doing my best at the office as well at work.
So you were dedicated to both, giving 100%.
Yeah,
So
so
kids
try to do
and at work.
100% of both, and that of course is a lot of stress. For
100%, 100%, and I think
quite a bit of stress.
I think it's amazing that you managed to balance it.
Yeah,
And you're like,
alhamdulillah,
I'm out to retirement now.
Yeah, alhamdulillah,
So,
I had a lot of students,
alhamdulillah.
and my husband as well. I mean, we used to do things quite a lot together.
Good chance to thank him on camera right
Yes,
now.
thank you very much, Mohammed, for all the support. But my family as well. I mean, your mother and your sister, they become really, real players in your
Yes,
life at that
yes.
time, and everybody, and his family as well.
Yeah.
So you just have to, at the end, to believe that you're doing your best. Whenever you have a chance to improve on something, you would do it.
Yes.
You'll have to prioritize all the time. I had to, you would take time off work if you can, whenever you have, major things that you need to do for the family. So I was always trying to give 100% to both sides. With sometimes this needs the 100% now more than
Than the other time,
and
yeah.
you juggle things a little bit between the two. But at the end, I think it worked very well, alhamdulillah.
Mashallah,
And
yes.
when I reached to a point where I thought, okay, I've gained a lot, I've given back to the company and to the country enough, then I decided, okay, my children are still young. I would really like to spend
time with them.
And that's when I decided, okay,
That's
I'll
the
take
fairy
their
tale
time.
story that all of us geoscientists want.
Yes. Yeah.
you.
So as I said, it wasn't easy, but alhamdulillah, I managed with the help of the family and
So
my
a
husband.
very strong support group is
Yes,
extremely
definitely.
important.
You need that.
Extremely
You need that,
important.
at least
Yes.
in my opinion. Yeah.
Diane, can you tell us a little more
So
about
Nadia covered quite a lot. But there was something, I had a motto for myself. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Yes.
So for me, it was the quality time. I could sit the whole day at home and my kids would be off watching the TV and I'd be off doing something else. So it wasn't literally how much time I'm there, but when I'm there, how present I am and what quality time we spend together. So when you put it that way, you give your quality time to work. You don't need to, in the end, be spending so many hours or staying really late, at least in my end. At least on few occasions, but on most occasions you wouldn't need to, because you focus, you get most of the things done that you need to get done. And then when I go to my kids, it was all quality time.
quality time is amazing. That's a very strong point. Because like you said, like we always feel guilty if we're not spending time. Even like for us, it's like even with our families,
Yeah.
we're not spending time with them. You feel that guilt, but then I like that your coping mechanism is quality time.
Yeah.
Quality time. That is beautiful.
And I agree with
That is
Nadia,
beautiful.
family support, and I also agree in the few times when I had to actually leave for a week or two, either for a conference or something. My husband was really great with taking care of the kids and picking up we need to make them pick it up a bit more,
Yeah.
Not do everything for them.
They're also fathers. Thank you
Which
so
you do.
much. Thank you so much, you guys, for sharing that.
Thank you.
And I think we can end on that note to our break. So we'll be right back. continue our question segments. We left off the last question as to how you guys actually balance between being a mother and being a geoscientist. And I think you guys gave us really good backgrounds on that. Thank you very much. So I'm going to ask this question since we're talking about the geoscientist industry. At any point in your career, did you ever feel that this was a very male-dominated industry? Maria, I already know your answer, so we're going to skip you in this round. But how about you guys?
For me, it was okay actually. They were always supportive, especially during field trips. They would really take care of us, and we will always discuss, with each other any topic. I think it was okay here, but I remember one occasion where I used to be in the UK. One of my colleagues actually asked me. He said, "Nawara, you're working very hard, but why do you need to do geosciences? Well, you can actually do something easier and can stay at home. You are from Omani. You guys are rich." So and then I thought like, okay, I need to, I just told him like, okay, that's a good point that you made there. We were always encouraged to excel in our studies with the late Sultan Qaboos. And we have always been, we are encouraged to excel in whatever field we were sent. So me being here, I came here really to pursue education, to really, get the knowledge, to gain the skills, so that when I go back home, I'm going to apply whatever I actually studied.
So did you ever feel that it was too much males?
The thing is, we all know that it's male dominated. So it's always, even during, class, the guys are almost like 3 times the girls.
Yeah.
But in general, they were okay. And that guy, the one who actually asked me, why did you choose geosciences, for example? And then, as I mentioned, I explained to him, this is why I'm here actually. In order, when I go back, I'm going to serve our country using the knowledge that I actually, gained here. And
regardless of whether it's male-dominated or female,
exactly.
You just went straight for it.
I'm not here to compete with you. We're not competing with the other gender.
Yeah.
We're here to support each other, in fact. So
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
that's very beautifully said too.
Thank you. So
thank you so much, Nawara. Thank you. Thank you. Leon?
Yes, it is male dominated, but I think that's the fun part of it. Because I think, men, it's like a Forrest Gump. I don't know if any of you watched it. It's like a box of chocolate. Some are sweet, some are a bit bitter, some are a bit orangey flavored.
That's life, yeah.
So they bring their own certain flavor to it. It's nice sometimes sparring with them. Some are very supportive. Some are very, it's just, it helps you to grow as a person. It helps you whenever you interact with different people, it just helps you to see different perspectives to grow,
and personalities,
and you adjust a lot about yourself and your thinking. So I like having men in the industry, to be honest.
Thank you. That is, I love hearing that. I really love hearing that. We'll give them a break today. How about you, Nadia?
I totally agree with Leah. It is male dominated.
We're talking about this with our male crew right here.
I know. So yes, it is male dominated, but I never felt like I was, disadvantaged by that or anything. As I said, there was always support from everybody in the environment.
Great.
So there wasn't really. Maybe what I would mention is that it's more difficult for ladies to network. And I think that's the point that probably they have an advantage over us. Being a male, they would go probably for lunch, they would meet after work.
Yes.
So their networking is a much
much more
better,
advanced than
than we
ours.
are.
Yes.
While
yes.
the ladies have to take it a little bit harder, extra effort in order for them to network and
Wow.
being just
I'm
together
loving
and be able to talk and exchange ideas and everything. So, as such, yes, it is male dominated, but it's not it's not a bad thing. It's just that it made us need to work a little bit harder.
It's good
Just
they
to
put
get,
a little
the
fire in
networking
us. Yes.
working for us. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the answers. Very thought-provoking. I mean, Maria, you were pretty much clear, but I just want to hear one more time. Do you think this is a male-dominated industry from your generation?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No. And even I went to a couple of trips with Geo Challenger in here, run by GSO.
Yes.
And there were, at times, I think it was 60% female, 40% male in these trips. And I know in geotech there are more females studying geoscience than male. It used to have like 2 male students, and the rest were all female. So not at least in the couple past years.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe in the past, definitely. And that's why I'm saying that whatever women have done globally, or the movement has been successful.
Wow.
Whatever effort they have been putting has definitely paid off.
So you guys, you heard, huh? We
Yeah.
picked out the guys.
So no more guys.
Cool. So we'll move on to our next question. Why do you guys think diversity and inclusion is important to you as an Omani woman in this industry? Mara, you can start.
Yeah, I think science generally, when you do science, it doesn't matter whether your gender or you're black or white, whatever you choose as an identity. When you do science, you do it with your brain, right? So
Yes.
it doesn't really matter who you are if you ask the right questions. For science to work and for many industries to work, you need a different diversity of brains, different mindsets, different backgrounds, and that helps create more ideas. It helps create better solutions. Different people can come up with better solutions than just one brain thinking, or similarly brain people thinking. So yeah, I think diversity and inclusion is important on all sectors, especially where you need to brainstorm.
Thank you. Yes, I agree with you. Having more than, there's always this saying, too many cooks spoil the broth, or you need to have different opinions to actually find a solution to certain problems. So, Leanne, what do you think?
So not to repeat what Maria said, which I fully agree with, but in terms of accepting diversity and inclusion, I think every individual, every human deserves the right to be who they want to be completely authentic and feel completely comfortable in themselves. So anybody who feels they can't be themselves or they can't express themselves, that inauthenticity, I think it's a slow crippling death in life, So we need to open up our hearts, accept people the way they are. We need to drop judging people because they don't fit what we think they should fit, or they're not behaving the way we think they should be behaving. And we must also realize, like united we stand, divided we fall.
Yes.
The more we create these divisions, the more we will fall. But the more we accept people and create a unified bonds, I think the more we will grow into the kind of society and country and race that we want to be.
Yeah. There's actually a very famous saying. If you want to go fast, go alone.
Yeah.
If you want to go far, go together.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly that.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Nadia, I'd like to hear yours.
Right, so I'll just go with the together part. I think you really, in any company, as long as you're working as a team, you're taking people, looking at them and thinking, okay, everybody wants to do their best. Give everybody the freedom to do what they want, as long as you're, with a bit of guidance, you're reaching to the goal that you're setting for them. That will cater for different people, different thoughts, how they want to do things, whether it's a female or a male, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. If you make them happy with what they're doing, you'll get much more from them. And you will reach at the end at the top with, together. And so I think it is important to just, understand each other, know the differences, how to make them act for you, and think that, think positively always. That,
100%. Yes.
we need to work together in order to reach the top.
It's beautifully said.
Um,
Nawar, last but not least.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, like, if we come from different backgrounds and we have this diversity, then we are more likely to build a wider network of socializing. And for example, let's say I work in a team with people from different nationalities. In that case, then if I've played a good role in that team and also built my reputation, the decent reputation, for example, people are going to speak about, they're going to talk about me. And in that case, they, for example, can say, okay, we have a colleague called Nawar, this and that. And I'm building reputation of myself in order to, that's going to help me to rise my profile. And also, it's going to, grab the attention to me. People would like to, connect
Get
with
to
me,
you,
and
yeah.
also in that case, I may even be able to get business to the company because of my good reputation as an individual. So I think that's
Yeah, and I think that's why diversity is extremely important. Yes, different people bring different things to the table. All right, so we're going to take one more question before another break. How do you guys think women can be encouraged to join the industry? What do you think companies and organizations could do to just foster this environment? I mean, now I'm hearing from Maria that, you know what, things are actually not that bad. It's good. Females are empowered, especially in Oman. This sounds really good. But how do you guys think we can increase inclusion and diversity in our industry? Nadia?
Okay. I think promote more the goodness that comes from it, the fulfillment that comes from it. Especially, okay, you will always be appealing to a certain people because geoscience is something that you need to like it.
Yes.
In order for you to excel in it, and although a lot of us actually went into it, by chance, we actually liked it because of what we wanted to accomplish. So if we were to promote it in that way, and we get the networking going on, show them what can be actually accomplished with your work. Maybe have smaller groups of where we talk about what we are doing and how actually that fulfilled our lives. Maybe we can encourage more people to showcase our what we've achieved in our careers, how we can actually balance work with life, promote more of part-time working. But that goes for any job, I would say, in essence. But definitely, if you have, coaching, mentorship as well to some ladies, they would actually be more willing to get into the field and work a bit more on the subject of geoscience. So
I'm learning a lot from you. I mean,
thanks.
Definitely.
But definitely, yeah. So networking, coaching, mentoring, having coffees where people meet and we talk about what it really means to be a geoscientist, how it worked for us. I think that's how it goes about it.
Those are really good points you brought up. Yeah, I feel like networking is a reoccurring subject right now for us. So
it's just to exchange the ideas and
yeah.
Solutions. The more you learn about something, the more you're bound to like it and be able to, go into it and learn more about it.
Beautifully said. Leanne, I'd like to hear your opinion.
So I'm a little bit divided about this. I think we should create awareness so people, but not only about geoscience, about many different fields. So kids or high school students, they get a flavor of these different things, so they're more open to choosing the right career path for themselves. I wouldn't necessarily go out there and say, women, you should do geoscience because this is the field that will showcase that you're special in some way or anything. I think as long as somebody's doing what they love and what they want to be doing, then that's it. But awareness in school, because we study biology, we study physics, we study chemistry, but there's
Earth
so
science
much.
is something else,
Earth
yeah.
science is something else. Engineering is something else. Reservoirs, and environmental. We don't do much environmental
true.
in school. So just creating a
The
more
awareness about
broader
it, yeah.
experiences of what career paths students can get into,
Can
and
take
then
it,
giving
yeah.
them that freedom of choice.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I second what Layan says. Having a freedom of choice is number one,
Yeah.
and also breaking any, let's say, any bad traditions that could hold women back, or maybe old traditions that have been here for no reason 30 or 40 years ago that didn't have any basis for them. I think breaking away from any traditions or any stigmas is very important, and giving the knowledge or spreading the awareness that you could choose whatever you want to choose. And yeah, I don't think necessarily we should promote a certain subject
So, yeah.
to a
Yeah.
certain
It's a more
gender.
open.
I think let people have the freedom to choose, and let the admission be, or the process of admission be free, or be equal and be fair for everyone.
Yes.
And that way you get more people who are talented in the industry.
I think it's a topic that a lot of ladies don't know enough about. So they have that fear now, in them, and they're just not knowing makes them a little bit more, held back about it. So
Yeah.
the more they know about it, the earlier they know about it, they can make the choice about it. Yeah.
And I think it's good that you mentioned like 40 years ago, 50 years ago, like not a lot of women were studying, right? So even breaking that tradition and stigma is like it takes time, right? But we have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to hear that you're seeing that, especially from your generation too, coming to ours. It was like, okay, it's good, it's good. We're on the same page. Nawara, how about you?
I think it all goes back to interest, really. For example, if you are thinking to come to geosciences, because we are all geosciences, let's promote that as well. I'm thinking like, okay, just find what is it that interests you actually. For example, would you like to be more physical, do you fancy more physical activities? Would you like to be a field geologist? Is your strength in mathematics and physics? Then maybe you could go for geophysics. For example, are you interested in, are you interested to hear about the earth sciences? Do you want to know more about the alternations that happen to the rock and so? So really, geoscience is a tremendous field. For you to be able to choose what you actually want, the first thing is to really, read about the field. Read about the field.
So
Educate
creating
yourself.
awareness,
Try to
yes.
be curious about it. The second thing maybe is you can go use YouTube and you can watch documentaries about our field. The other thing also is that you could ask a geologist, for example, about their experience. It may be a friend of you, it may be a family member, for example. So, and in addition to that, with the Geological Society of Oman, we normally participate in different conferences. So maybe you would like to, just visit the booth and ask them about the geological heritage that we actually have here. In addition to that, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe it's actually a big field. So you need to really make a choice and think, well, what is it that you actually would like to do, really? So yeah, it's
Raising awareness.
and also maybe
about
you
the
could go
industry.
for
Yeah.
geotourism. And if you go for tourism, if you like hiking, you go for hiking and then you see a piece of rock, for example, that interests you, pick it up and just ask a geologist. So they may be able to help you with that. So and also we've got a lot of museums here in Oman. So why not visit those museums and learn about the rocks, the minerals, the history that we have behind these rocks.
So I like what you said. So raising awareness is extremely important. So people need to know what geosciences is.
Yeah.
Because like you just mentioned 3-4 fields, where you talked about geotourism, you talked about geophysics, you talked about geology, you talked about a lot of things, and that's like all under the umbrella of geosciences. So thank you guys so much for answering these questions. We're going to take one more break, and we're going to wrap it up with 2 final questions. So stay tuned.
يا داني يا داني دين يا داني يا داني دين يا داني يا داني يا دانا لدانا لدين
ماشي تعب يدوم والدايم الله الكريم
شفت السما في شقين تمطر علينا لبين وين سعيد حظنا برحمتك يا رحيم
ماشي تعب يدوم والدايم الله الكريم
شفت السما في شقين وتمطر علينا لبين وين سعيد حظنا برحمتك يا رحيم ماشي تعب يدوم والدايم الله الكريم
يا داني دين يا داني يا داني دين
يا داني يا داني يا دانا دانا دين
ماشي تعب يدوم والدايم الله الكريم
إلى عظيم المقام ردوا عليه السلام وخبروا ما يدوم غير رب العظيم
ماشي تعب يدوم والدايم الله الكريم
إلى عظيم المقام ردوا عليه السلام وخبروا ما يدوم غير رب العظيم ماشي تعب يدوم والدايم الله الكريم
يا داني يا داني دين يا داني
يا داني دين
يا داني يا داني يا دانا لدانا لدين
ماشي تعب يدوم
والدايم الله الكريم
يا هقسي طير بي لا ديار صاحبي الخير ما بيننا والقلب.
Hi, welcome back to GSO Circle, and we're talking about the topic on women, Omani women in geosciences, then and now. We had an interesting discussion with all of you guys. Thank you so much again for allowing us to host you. So, in our final segment, I have two important questions that I'd like to ask you. So, how do you guys imagine Omani women in the next 10 years here in Oman? Leon, I'd like to hear your
So
opinion on this.
I don't imagine Omani women being any different than what they are today and what they have been. You know, I think in their essence, they have always been beautiful, inspirational, kind, generous, loving, nurturing, you know, and I think that will carry on forever. You know, this is who we really are. This is our true essence. And when we get into different professions, that's just an added layer to their core layer, you know? So I think they will continue to be inspirational. They will continue to be beautiful. They will continue to amaze us, impress us, and be mothers and be the building blocks for our society. And I mean, I see my grandmother, my mother, my great-grandmother, my aunts. They're just as inspirational to me, even if they weren't as educated or having careers as other women of today.
I love the progression, though. I love the progression. Maya?
Yeah, I see us taking us the world. No, I think the number of women, especially in leadership, that probably would increase. Maybe you would see more women taking up leadership positions. But also, I think women will continue to contribute in different fields, maybe more towards environment in the future as we develop EDO or more energy-friendly environmental energy sectors. Yeah, so I think that women will continue contributing towards the energy sector and many other sectors equal to men.
Thank you. And what?
I think that most of the Omani women in 10 years' time are going to have the majority, at universities are going to have higher educational degrees, of which most hold masters and PhDs. And I'm quite optimistic that we are going to reach the moon. So yeah, why not? I mean, let's be
Yep,
optimistic.
never say never.
Yeah. I also, I think media plays a really big role because there are a lot of women who manage to excel in whatever measure they were interested. But before, in the previous years, we wouldn't feel encouraged to be recorded and to be in the media. But in 10 years' time, everything's going to be documented. So we are here today. We are going, inshallah, to see ourselves, in 10 years' time, recorded, and people can actually learn from us. So, we need to use the technology. We need to have the media.
Thank you so much. And this is what we're doing right now. We're using the media.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'd like to hear yours, Nadia.
So I totally agree with what the ladies have said. It's true. We are true to our core. We are only adding layers into it, but we are excelling. We will be excelling and excelling more. We will be getting more education. We will be taking over positions, higher positions. We will be actually more, confident with ourselves. We'll be entrepreneurs. We will be CEOs of companies. That's how I see ourselves, because now we are just, we've had the education, we had the support. Now we're building our confidences. Later on, it's time to, thrive. Time to show ourselves, show the world what Omani women can do, and we are really capable. I really believe it. We are really capable.
100%.
And that's to do all with our values, of course. Anything without a value, the core value being strong, you would not be achieving it. But as I said, core plus all this, improvement that we are getting and support and everything, we will be really, looking after ourselves and our kids and everything.
Not to scare of our male colleagues.
Yes, we'll be true brothers, and sisters in working together with the men to build our country.
No, but I'm really enjoying you guys on this panel. I love the harmony you guys have in working in this industry and not feeling like you're against the men. You're just like, no, we complement each other.
Yes,
we're
we do.
together.
We do.
We're working towards one goal. So I really like that, and I feel like yes, in 10 years, definitely, like our mentality is going to change, our outlook is going to change, perception is going to change. So I agree with you guys. So it's like very beautifully said. Thank you.
And I think we need to attribute this to our late Sultan Qaboos. I have to say that, because I really feel very much about it, very strongly about it, that we would not have been here if it wasn't for him. He gave us that, confidence. He gave us, he opened the doors for us, and we are only here because of him. So, yeah. Allah yarham, yeah.
Thank you guys again for answering most of my questions. And our final question here before we leave: what is your message to young women who are also passionate to be in this field and are looking to work hard towards our Majesty's 2040 vision? What would you guys give them as final advice? Leon.
Okay, this would be my message. My message is be who you are and don't compare yourself. I think sometimes we confuse organizational leadership with true leadership. True leadership is that you are able to influence people around you into becoming better than what they were. I don't think we have to say we all need to be a CEO, and if we're not a CEO or if we're not some titled manager or something, we haven't succeeded. I think all women have succeeded. I think to all the mothers who stay at home and raise their children, they are leaders. I think to all the nurses in the hospitals who take care of patients and get barely any gratitude, they are leaders. I think to all our teachers are some of the most greatest influencers of our lives, from kindergarten to high school to university. They are all leaders,
I mean, they made us geoscientists.
So I just say, don't compare, don't get bogged down in what society is showing you. Again, it comes to your values. what your true belief is and what your real true success is. So that's my message.
Thank you. Nawar, what would your message be?
I think education is key, and if you have the knowledge, then do not hesitate to share it. Think about conveying knowledge as an ongoing charity, صدقة جارية. And if you do so, then we are going to continue to excel under the leadership of His Majesty Sultan Tariq bin Haytham bin Tariq Al Said. And just try to be ambitious, adventurous, and target-oriented. Always remember that we are always going to face challenges, but the piece of diamond originated from a charcoal. So, just which actually handled stress very well. So let's all be that piece of diamond and let us sparkle.
Beautiful. I like that. Sparkling. I joined Geosciences because I like shiny things.
You're in the right place, right?
Yes, I am in the right place. Thank you very much. Nadia, I'd like to hear your piece of advice.
Okay, so definitely, value yourself. Keep to your values. We are Omanis, we are Muslim ladies. That is the main thing. But always, aim high. Nothing should stop you. The sky is your limit. Believe in yourself. There is always, learning somewhere. We should never stop learning. Every day we should learn something new. Do your best in everything. Be proud of your work. Be proud of what you're doing. Reach out if you need help. That's not something bad. Always aim high. Yeah.
Always aim high. Yes. Diamonds, aiming high. This is a beautiful panel. Maria, give us the final one.
So all of what the ladies said is very inspirational. Maybe to add to that, maybe try different things. Try to science, physics, chemistry, technology, and see where the country is going ahead, with which sectors. Is it green energy? Is it more towards the environment? And try to see where your passion fits best with the country's vision, with the pathway. So yeah, and follow your passion. Yeah, definitely.
Follow your passion.
Yeah, enjoy what you're doing. That's the most important thing.
Be
Enjoy
you.
life. Yeah, enjoy what you
have
do.
fun with it.
Travel. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being our guests of honor today. I am so happy to have you guys. This is our first GSO Circle kickoff. You understand? This is our first GSO Circle, and you guys are the first ones. So
Thank you for having
so
us.
much.
Yeah, we
Thank you
enjoyed it
so
as
much
well.
for being a part of it. Again,
We need to thank you. We need to thank GSO. We
Yeah,
need to thank
such an
Basta Majan,
opportunity.
and we need to thank the amazing crew back
Crew,
there that nobody can
definitely.
see.
Definitely, we have to thank these guys. Rasmi Telecom and Media, thank you so much for handling this today. And Baslat Majan for hosting us here. And of course, Dalil Petroleum. Thank you so much again. And stay tuned for the next GSO Circle coming next month. Thank you.
البين واين سعيد حظنا برحمتك يا رحيم
ماشي تعب يدوم والدايم الله الكريم
شفت السما في شقين وتمطر علينا لبين واين سعيد حظنا برحمتك يا رحيم ماشي تعب يدوم والدايم الله الكريم
يا داني يا داني دين يا داني يا داني دين
يا داني يا داني يا داناني داناني دين
ماشي تعب يدوم والدايم الله الكريم
إلى عظيم المقام ردوا عليه السلام وخبروا ما يدوم غير رب العظيم
ماشي تعب يدوم والدايم الله الكريم
إلى عظيم عظيم المقام ردوا عليه السلام وخبروا ما يدوم غير رب العظيم ماشي تعب يدوم والدايم الله الكريم.
يا داني يا داني دير يا داني يا داني دير يا داني يا داني يا دانا لدانا لدير
ماشي تعب يدوم
والدايم الله الكريم.
يا هجس يطير بيه لا